Hi, Corey Harlock back again with Hospital Headhunter and Questus Hospitality. Continuing again, making the final step in our video blog series about why people stay with your company. Today we are going to talk about training and career advancement. So the category as we worded it is, provide me the training, coaching, mentoring, and opportunity to be promoted and achieve my career goals. This was the biggest surprise of our survey. 62% of the 200 executive managers that took our survey said this was the main reason they stay with an employer. It's a clear and concise career path. So let's look at some of the information that came out around career path. When we asked the question, in my current most recent role, I have been promoted as outlined by my employer. 34% of the 200 people that took the survey said no. Moving on, in my current most recent role, I feel that I've been given the tools, coaching, and training required to be promoted. 38% of the people said no. So 34% of the people weren't promoted, and 38% of those people said, I never had a chance. I wasn't given any of the information that I needed to get promoted. In my current most recent role, I feel that promotions are handed out fairly and to deserving individuals. Be aware of this one. 39% of people said no, the right people aren't being promoted. It all goes back to involving your staff and asking them the questions too. When we asked the question, my employers made me fully aware of my career path and what training or experience I need to complete and qualify for the next step in my career within the company. 52% said no. They're not being told what their next step is. And if they are being told what the next step is, they're not being told what do they have to do to get it, what training do they need to go out, or they're not being offered the training or the ability to get the training they need to make the career step. I've resigned from a job where my promotion was not delivered within the timeline promised. 22% of people said yes. Another big reason people are leaving your company. If you're telling them you want to promote them, you need to be giving them the tools. You need to be checking in with them. You need to be creating a timeline. And if you're not going to meet that timeline, either based on your business or their performance, you need to be talking to them about it. In my current, most recent role, I am satisfied with my career path and mentoring. 46% said no. We're not giving our people the mentoring, the information, the communication, and an outlined career path that they want. The ironic thing about this is, we're in an era where we feel our workforce is largely entitled. They feel they deserve everything now. Some people use the word lazy. The work ethic has changed for sure. But what the survey clearly states is the most important thing to people is their career and career development. Again, these are executive managers, so we're not exactly talking Gen Y here, but we are talking about some upcoming leaders and some very established leaders. What the survey also said was people do expect to be recognized for the hard work, but only when they deserve it. They're willing to work for their promotions. They're willing to work for their bonuses. They just want to make sure it's a fair and level playing field. And on the other side of it, they want to know that if they do the work, they're going to get the reward. And when we use these terms to describe our workforce, we have to be careful because sometimes we're as guilty or more guilty of the things we're accusing our workforce of. So if we're saying they don't work hard and they don't earn what they get, well, when they do, we better make sure we reward them for it, or they're not going to do it again. Their motivation is going to decrease a little bit every time we don't deliver as owners, managers, superiors, whatever it is. So if we dangle a carrot, we better let them catch up and take a bite, or the workforce of today will only chase so long. Then you'll have the conversation. They'll hand you a resignation letter and say, I'm going next door, with new hopes of them delivering on their promises. We do know 2 years is kind of as long as they're going to stay with you on average, but good employers or who are perceived as good employers do have longer tenure, and that's a great way to go back and check your culture climate and see where you are in terms of how your employees look at your operation. If you're at that 2-year mark or below, that means that you are not doing the best job you can at creating the best environment and meeting the needs of the individuals in your team. So that'll wrap it up for today. We'll talk about some other things next Friday. But I hope you have a great weekend. And again, if there are any ideas, questions, comments, beefs, conversations you want to start, you want to write an article and send it through to us, we'd be happy to have you participate in the blog and post your article up there to see what people say about it. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.